Greetings, greetings, greetings. Grand rising, grand rising. Man, listen. I've had a blissful sun rest, and I'm looking forward to having a beautiful sunrise. Hope everybody's doing good. I know it's kind of early, so I'm not gonna really wait for too many people to get on this build. But if you up, you up. You know what I mean? I was about to go back and take another nap because I'm always doing work and studying. You know what I mean? I was up a little late, but I got some rest. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Always remember that the day that you're gonna have is the day that you plan out. All right, you determine what your day is gonna be like. So always remember that you're in charge. But anyway, this is not about no big motivational speech. All right, I'm in the dark because I'm still in bed, and so please, I hope you don't mind this video being dark, but just please check out the message. All right. Now, I was thinking, for me, I'm always thinking, I'm always meditating, and just whoever you talk to, it is what it is. But for me, I subscribe to a higher power, that I know that I'm part of that higher power. I'm part of that council. I'm part of that council. You know what I mean? And what came to me was the fact that a lot of us, here in the Americas, you know what I mean? And of course, they call our land, especially the United States, they call it the melting pot. Well, to me, I still don't look at it as the melting pot. I look at it as our home, our land, and we, the original people of the land, we definitely have to step up and create some order in our land. But while I was contemplating on that and thinking about that, my question to you, the people, is that really possible? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very optimistic, I'm very proactive. But then we have to look at the mindset of the Negropeans, okay? The mindset of the Negroes. And when I say Negroes, I put a post up, I think, last night, and I spelt Negro as Knee, as in knee, you have knees, and grow, Grow. And I'm asking all these Negroes to get off your knees and grow up. You feel me? Too many of you are waiting around, sitting around, expecting an organization, a government, a corporation to take care of you. You feel what I'm saying? When at the ending of the day, when we look at the history of this organization that has been set up on our land, it has been nothing but the genocide of the original people of the land. So at what point are we gonna say enough is enough, and we're gonna get off our knees? Get off your knees, Negroes, okay? Get off your knees and grow up. Because they're looking at you as children, minors, people who cannot handle their own affairs. That's why you're called a minor. We are not minorities in number, okay? Because we are the majority when it comes to numbers. We have always been the original people here, and we have always outnumbered all the immigrants who came here. But the truth of the matter is, you are being called a minor because of your state of mind. They're indicating, and they are actually insinuating, rather, that you are incompetent. So you need a big daddy. You need parents outside of your parents to take care of you, to be your guardian, because your parents are not capable. Now, is a result of them being, how would I put it, nonchalant, or they just don't care, or which is pretty much the same thing, or I think it's ignorance. They just don't know. Our parents and their parents were not taught this type of system. Because remember, we are an organic people. We are a natured people, not taking anything away from anybody else. I can only speak to about us and what I know about our people, our history. Okay? And people always ask me, well, Chief, what do I do? Because, and I told the sister I'm going to address that in a build. I do my genealogy search and I could only get to a certain point. When I get to a certain point, I come to a dead end. I can't go any further. Well, for me, I wouldn't advise you to call it a dead end. All right. Just look at it as, the fact that they have destroyed a lot of that information. There is a reason why they don't want us to go past the 1700s. Okay. All this is well orchestrated. It is not a coincidence. Okay. It is not a coincidence. It's well planned. Even before they came to our land, even before the inception of any pilgrims, immigrants on our land, this was planned. All right. They sent scouts. What do you think scouts are about? Look at sports today. It's the same thing they do. You have scouts going into neighborhoods and they're looking for the best of us. Whether it may be academic, whether it may be sports, whether it may be, for their armies. That's what they do. Okay? That's what they do. They scout out the best in us and they take us away from us and use us to work and fight against us. Now, I don't know if that made a lot of sense, but it made a whole lot of sense to me. Okay? And that's what they did. All right? They came here prior to the inception of the millions of them coming here. They came with a plan. They came with a strategy. We have to get into the mindset of the colonizers. And once again, when I say colonizers, I am not talking about the pale man. The pale man didn't come into the game until the early 1900s. Real talk. Okay? The pale man didn't become a power until the 1900s. I don't care what nobody tell me. I'm always going to speak the truth. I'm always going to stand on the truth. Now, y'all read between the lines. You heard 50 cents. Do I have to spell it out to y'all? You know what? Man, read between the lines. So once again, not everybody that's among us that look like us is for us and is us. I'm always going to say that. All right? And I'm going to stand on that truth. It's a fact. So at the ending of the day, yes, we are all looking for one voice, one people. But in the mix of all that, how do we know who's who? How do we know who to trust? No, I'm not saying we cannot make moves. I'm not saying that. But you see, so many of these people, and I'm talking about our people, the truth of the matter is what? Too many of them are hungry, are power hungry. Okay? Too many of them are title hungry. So my question to you, my people, is how do we move forward in order to create, whether it may be one identity, one people, but yes, we may come from different clans. All right, because not everybody came from the same family. Obviously, that could be seen without doing any form of research. We all came from different families. But does it negate the fact that we are one people? No, we are one people. So why is it so difficult, okay, to come under the umbrella of being one people? You know why? Because too many people outside of that concept, you know what I mean? They know what their agenda is. They have an agenda, and there's a huge agenda, okay, to take the birthright of the American Aborigine. Because once again, let's put this in perspective. If we all agree that we are original Americans, all right, and when we go look at the definition and the etymology of Aborigine, and also during, amongst the political platform internationally, Aboriginal people are acknowledged. In Canada, Aboriginal people are making major moves. I'm going to repeat that. In Canada, Aboriginal people are making major moves. In Australia, Aboriginal people are making major moves. So don't tell me Aboriginals or Aborigines are not identified nationally, internationally, globally. I don't care what kind of Lee you want to call it, Bruce Lee, I don't care. But you know why a lot of people will not want to do that? Is because they have their own agenda. They have their own agenda to put us in a box. You feel me? To put us in a box. That's the problem. So my suggestion is, those of us who know we are American Aborigines, all right, let's come together and let that be who we are. We determine who we are. Nobody else should do it for us. Okay, not any individual, not any group, not any organization, not any government. All right? If we're going to put ourselves under any type of title, any type of nationality, I say our nationality should be American Aborigines. And that's just me. Okay? When Malcolm X, thought he was African, when he thought he was everything else, until he went to Africa. And they said, brother, you ain't African. He came back and said, what? You are the American Aborigines, but you don't like being called the American Aborigines. So they took him out. Okay? When Martin Luther King, yes, black and I'm proud, and the Negro and this and that. When he finally said, the Negro is exiled in his own land. What was he telling you? He was telling you the same thing that Malcolm X was telling you. You are the Aborigines. What they did, they took him out. Huh? Why do you think these other so-called leaders are here right now and they haven't been taken out? You know why? It's because they are not telling the truth. Okay? Because anytime you tell the truth, it becomes a problem to the so-called system. You feel me? All right? But we are not giving up. We are not going to give up. Nah, we're going to keep pushing. But the point of this video I'm doing right now, because like I said, I was about to go back and take a nap. You feel me? But something just came to me and say, hey, you know what, Chief? Do this video. Speak your mind on this. Because our people have to see the agenda. Look around you. So to answer a lot of you questions about, Chief, what do I do if I can't go past the 1700s? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need to do anything. Okay? Because let me ask you a question. Who is asking these natives to prove who they are? I'll wait. Nobody. Okay? Who is asking these $5 Indians to prove who they are? Nobody. I'll wait. Caucasians are in our land. They call themselves Americans. Who's asking them to prove who they are? Nobody. I'll wait. So why the hell do we have to prove ourselves to anybody when they know who we are? Huh? If your grandmama tell you who you was, okay, and who you is, then guess what? That's who you are and that's who you is. Period. We ain't got to prove nothing to nobody because they know who we are. The problem is we got to prove it to ourselves because we are the ones going around calling ourselves a million different things. A million. And we are the only ethnic group on the planet whose identity has changed at least 7 times. Somebody prove me wrong. Okay? Somebody prove me wrong. So I say, if we are going to call ourselves anything, let it be American Aborigines. I don't want it to be anything else. Nothing else. All right? That's it, period. Because there is a heavy agenda going around to take away our birthright. I'm not going to get into calling names. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to speak generally and you put the pieces together. If you can't see what I'm talking about, if you can't hear what I'm talking about, then this ain't for you. Okay? But I'm not here to attack anybody or any one group. The point I'm trying to make is I'm looking for a common ground. That's what I'm looking for. I am tired of the division. I am tired of the separation. I am tired of that. My question is, what's our common ground? Okay? If we all say Turtle Island is our home, we know the Americas is Turtle Island. Yes, so it's our home. And no, for some of you that want to come on post and say, oh, well, America came from Americo Vespucci. No, it didn't. Okay? That came from South America, from the Inca. Okay? America. That's America. So when y'all think y'all know so much, y'all need to go study some more. Okay? As a matter of fact, the name America was written in the constellations. Way before even America was thought of. And it was also in the constellations that the eagle belonged to America, the Eagle Land, which was actually the first Egypt. Okay? So people always want to, man, listen, that's why I tell people, listen, man, we don't need to be scholars to see where we need to be. The Great Spirit gave us nature. Why do we run away from nature so much when the whole concept of a universe, of a university, pardon me, came from what? Came from the universe. Where do you think they got the word university from? They got it from the universe. Something organic, something natural. And they say, you know what, man, listen, let's take these people and put them in a box. Put them in brick buildings and call it a university. When the truth of the matter is, we are the universe. The universe is us. So why are you looking for any institution to tell you how qualified you are when you were born with the qualities? It's already in us. Here's another thing. Why are the majority of our people in brick buildings, in churches, every single Saturday and Sunday? Didn't the Great Spirit say? Didn't the Most High say? Didn't God say? Didn't Lord say? The Supreme Being, whatever you want to call the source. Didn't that source say that the church is within you? Not in a brick building, not in the brick and mortar? So once again, it's all indoctrination. It's dogma. And our people are too blind to see that. They all pledge allegiance to the Pope, the Vatican. But they will not tell you that. They will not tell you that because they are contracted. They cannot go against the oath. But the church is in your heart. It's a personal relationship with your creator. Not the creator, your creator. Because a lot of us have different creators. And that's facts. Why do you think we are all not the same? Because you are responsible for your own life. It's called free will. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'll wait. But I'm not going to wait too long because weight is a heavy load. I don't want to hurt my back. But the point I'm trying to make is this. The chicken came from the egg, and the egg came from the chicken. What does that tell you? It was self-manifested. Okay? We manifested here. We were not created. We have always been. We have always been. There has never been a time when man or woman has never existed. How can you call yourself energy and say you were created when energy was never created? Energy has always been. Energy has always been. So yes, the energy manifested into matter, or the energy learned to speak, learned to articulate words, and from the words became flesh. What's flesh? Everything physical is flesh. Matter. That's why we are immortal. But you don't know that. You're looking at yourself as the physical man or the physical woman, which is not you, period. That is just your mode of transportation. That is your car. And a lot of y'all don't even realize that. And you're treating your body like, man, like a old 1947 Buick that's run down, because you don't know that's your avatar. You feel me? You got to take care of your temple. Stop poisoning your temple. The food you eat, whatever you put in your system, you become that. Whether it may be thought, whether it may be other people's energy around you, whether it may be food, whether it may be music, anything that goes within your system, you become that. And every single second, your cells are being regenerated, and you are becoming exactly who you are. And what does that mean? It's what you eat. Everything that you put in your system is processed by your liver. Okay? Don't matter what it is, it's processed by your liver. And then it goes into your liver, it creates bile. Okay? And it goes through your system. It alternates your cells. Okay? It alternates your DNA. You got to learn to protect your energy. Okay? If you say you're a deity, if you say you're a God, I don't care what you call it, a Lord. Well, I don't care what you call that higher source. If you say you are the I am, why don't you walk like one? Why don't you talk like one? Why don't you act like one? Huh? Many of you, around here, running around calling yourself gods, but you're nothing but a demon. Okay? A god in disguise. But anyway, that's not what this is about. I'm not here to criticize anybody. I'm just here to say, watch yourself. Stop pointing your fingers at other people. Remember, whenever you point your finger at other people, you got 3 fingers pointing back at you. Okay? You got 3 fingers pointing back at you. So let's go back to looking into nature. We don't have to send our children to their schools. Huh? It's kindergarten. Why do you think it's called kindergarten? Because again, they're telling you it's nature. Garden is a nature. Gardens are in nature. But instead of you taking your children to a real garden, they have to create a kindergarten for your children. Huh? And then from there, you got to go to what? You got to go to college. Okay? The cool age. All right? When you come from the garden, the kindergarten, you go to a high school, and then you get ready to cool age, the age where you get to be cool. All right? Where the program is real. That's the cool age. And then you got to strive for what? You got to strive for the university, which was natural to us. But the whole point is to put you in a box. That's the whole point. And to get solidification from them, you have to get your degree. Well, let me ask you, the sun, how do you measure the rays or the heat of the sun? The temperature of the sun is measured in degrees. Don't you have a solar plex? Don't you have the sole of your feet? The sun is already in you. Okay? You have all the degrees that you already need. But they took that away from you. Everything that's within you, they put it outside of you. And you're looking for what? Them to tell you who you are. Them to tell you what you're worth. Brothers and sisters, it's all inside of us. We are the most complicated computer that hasn't ever been created. You heard what I said? That hasn't ever been created, because they cannot duplicate us. They're trying though. So everything is in us. The Most High said what? I have put the laws of nature in the hearts and the minds of men. So how are you going to write your statutes and codes and ordinances and policies and tell me that's law? No, it's not law. Because you are not the Most High. The laws are in my heart. It's in my mind. Nobody got to tell me thou shalt not kill. No. It's innately in my being. The laws are very simple. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And we have forgotten this basic fundamental. Basic. Okay? You don't mess with me, I'm not going to mess with you. Period. The universe was well put together. That's why it's called the cosmos. What's another word that's synonymous with cosmos? What do you have? You have cosmetic. Okay? Cosmetic deal with what? Makeup. So who made it up? We did. Okay, we are the cosmos. We are makeup artists. We all came together. The universal source is us together, the collective, the all. We came together and said what? Let us create a world where nobody's going to judge each other, but you get to judge yourself. You get to be your magistrate. Okay? You get to judge yourself. You know how you're going to judge yourself? You're going to judge yourself by your actions, by your intentions. It's called karma. You do right, you get right. You do wrong, you get wrong. To me, that's the most beautiful put together system. That is the greatest court in the world. Okay? That is the greatest court system that was ever created. You get to judge yourself based on your actions. And guess what? You know what the most beautiful thing about it is? You cannot be biased. You cannot be impartial. You know why? Because it is set up in a way, no matter what you do, you cannot trick the universe. Man, isn't that a beautiful thing? You cannot trick the universe because anything that you do, you're going to get it back in return. And you are powerless when it comes to that. So you see how much of a just system that we created? You want justice? Go back to nature. Okay? If you want justice, go back to nature. That's where true justice is. Because you will be judged based on your own action. Okay? For those of us who don't know what to do, where to go, where to turn, look into nature. How many animals do you see paying rent? How many animals you see growing food and buying food? Nature provided for us. The United States got millions and millions and millions of our land in trust. Okay? Let us demand our land back. Why are we in cities paying rent? Okay, in New York, nowadays, apartments, one-bedroom apartment is $1,700 in New York because they want to get rid of the melanated man and melanated woman so they could run them away. Huh? Who's doing it? These Jews, and nobody want to talk about it. Anytime you talk about Jews, they are God's chosen people. Said who? Said who? How can you be God's chosen people and you're not the original people on the planet? What type of foolery is that? But nobody want to talk about it. Why is that? How can you be chosen when you are not the original people? And if you were chosen, why would you be doing what you are doing, taking away from everybody? That's not godly. Come on, man. This is all about commerce. That's what this is about. It's about commerce, business, greed, power. Do you know how many children are being brought into the United States on the black web that's being bought and sold into slavery, into prostitution, petty fires, sacrificial rituals? Nobody's talking about that. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. And everybody's over here on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you at, talking about, these people, this so-called white cop, she killed a so-called black man in his own house, and the judge is hugging her, and, the police officer is patting her back. And, man, listen, all this is part of the game. Why are y'all getting so emotional? Why? Focus on what's real. It's all part of the game. It's an illusion. You are literally in a big movie. It's a screenplay. And you have actors. They are all actors. Whether the scene is real or not. All right? Some people are going to be sacrificed for the better good. That's their nature. And when I say there, I mean the system. It is not one complexion. No. It's a multitude of people. That's why it's called the melting pot. You have a pot, right? Don't you cook in a pot? Don't you put ingredients in a pot? Don't you have chefs that cook? So it's a bunch of chefs that came together and said, let's create a melting pot and let's give them some soup to put them to sleep. I know sometimes the analogies that I use, man, listen, I don't know where the hell I get that from, but I like to speak so that people could, the basic man or woman with the simplest level of understanding could comprehend what I'm saying. It's a bunch of chefs that came together, okay? A bunch of chefs came together and said, listen, man, we got a big pot called the Americas. Let's put these ingredients in there, all right? And let's create a big soup to put all of them to sleep and take over their lives and control them. So we drank off of the Kool-Aid. So I'm not going to divert too much of why I really did this video. Okay? But I had to talk about a few things. So stop that whole thing with this cop, this so-called Amber, whatever her name is. It's a distraction. There is always a distraction when something major is going to happen. Y'all don't realize this is all about something major that's coming. If you have no identity, then that means you are nationless. Okay? If it means that you are nationless, then they could take you and do what they want with you. Now, I'm not here to instigate fear. All right? A lot of things are going to manifest in 2020. I'm telling y'all. Y'all going to think that you are in a movie. But do not be in haste. Okay? Do not be in haste to go do all these people's paperwork and put yourself in a jam. Okay? Because the agenda is real. I tell you, look into nature. Look into nature. Okay? You have all different species of plants. You have many different species of trees, but they are called trees. Okay? You have different species of animals, but they are called animals. If we are the people, yes, there may be different groups amongst us, but we are still the people. So what can we identify as the people? If we are the original Americans, and Aboriginal or Aborigines is recognized internationally, I say, as a collective, we call ourselves the American Aborigines. And anybody who cannot rock with that, then that goes to show you have an agenda. It goes to show that you have an agenda. But of course, that is just my own opinion. All right? I'm not asking you to agree. I'm not asking you to disagree. I'm just giving you my perspective on that. All right? My perspective. Because everybody else get to be a hyphened American. Okay? A hyphened American. Irish American, Italian American, Jewish American, Moorish American, Sicilian American. Just name it. Just name it. So, what does that, where do we fit in that category? Huh? I say we are the Aborigine Americans, or the American Aborigines. That has a great flow to it. It sounds right to me. It sounds perfect to me. Okay? Because once again, that is recognized internationally. The Lalakea tribe in Australia, they got back their land by being what? The Aborigines, by being the Aboriginals. Go look at Canada. Huh? Go look at Canada. What? This is Robbins asks, what paperwork that you are speaking of that would put us in a jam? Well, if you've been looking at my posts or my videos, you will know. I don't have to call out any names right now because I don't want any one group to think I'm speaking of them, or I like, for me, I'm just tired of the confusion. Okay, all I'm just telling y'all, be mindful. Okay, of calling yourself anything and doing this paperwork that's gonna put you in a jam. Because all across the United States, that paperwork is sending people to jail. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say. All right? Anything. Listen to your heart, man. Listen to your higher self. The truth, it will resonate with your spirit. Okay? In Canada, the American Aboriginals are doing great things. Well, even if the American Aboriginals don't look like the Aboriginals, the point is, just by that alone, they are making major wavelengths. Okay? Aboriginals across the world are waking up. You feel me? And coming together. They are uniting. You feel me? Okay? So all I'm just saying is, and Robin, I'm literally not trying to be fetish. I'm standoffish, or I'm trying to be rude. But the point is, I'm just tired of the back and forth with certain groups, and I don't want that video to be about that. I want this to be about the commonality. What do we have in common? If we all agree that America is our home, all right, regardless of where you think the name came from, whether it may be Vespucci or not, which is not, it didn't come from Vespucci, okay? Amerique is an American name, all right? So I'm proud to be an American, but I'm not going to let anybody hijack it and tell me somebody else gave it the name. No, it didn't. That came from us, all right? So the point I'm trying to make is everybody get to be a hyphened American, which they are not. There's a difference between a United States citizen and American. They are United States citizens. Just like how the Cherokee is not the Anianwea. Anianwea is the organic people, the principal people. Okay? When that identity was usurped, it became Cherokee. And the Cherokee is not organic. It's an organization, a corporation that was created, and it means the fire people. So what are you telling me? The fire people burned out the principal people, which is the Anianwea. So peep the game. Peep the game. I am not Cherokee. I'm Anianwea. Okay? Now I may say, Anianwea misnomer Cherokee, just so that people know what I'm talking about. But the original name is Anianwea, which is the principal people. However, an organization, a corporation was created, and they ratified the original treaties. Okay? And they came and went into business with the corporation, the United States. And they claiming to be the original people. No, they are not. So all those things we have to bring claims against. It's fraud. But how can we do it as individuals bickering and fighting amongst each other? Oh, well, you're not this, I'm that. Oh, we are this, no, we are that. Go back to this, I don't care. Let's look into nature. Let's look at nature. Show me anywhere in nature, all the things that you're calling me, it's in nature. Because all I see in nature is just beings. That's all I see, is just to be. And that's all I want, is just to be. Leave me alone. You heard Michael Jackson, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh, oh. I just want to be left alone, man. Rest in power to the king. No, I ain't drink my honey, all right? So, the voice is a little bit crackly, you know what I'm saying? I ain't drink a honey, but don't get it twisted. Chief could do a little karaoke, you dig? But the point I'm trying to make is, brothers and sisters, look around us, right? We are the only ones that's dealing with this situation. Every other ethnic group, and that's why I tell our people, you have to know we are not Africans. Because real Africans come here and they live a life, okay? They open businesses. They get a credit line. They are identified as white. So why are we the ones that's going through what we are going through if we Africans? It is because there's something distinct about the American Aborigine. They don't want us to know. is that this is our birthright. We have the highest authority on this land. We have the aboriginal titles of this land. And they start talking about their laws, their codes, and all these different things and statutes. Man, we never had none of that. All these titles of free white person, and we didn't have none of that. That was brought into our land. We were just people living in nature. Literally walking around, butt naked, if half naked, if not butt naked. And it wasn't even something perverted. We enjoyed each other. We loved each other. You know what I'm saying? No brother wasn't walking around, talking about, oh, yo, son, I want to hit that. Son, I want to hit that. She got a fatty. No, man. And no sister wasn't walking around talking about, girl, he's swinging. Nah, man. We wasn't so carnal minded. That wasn't our nature. We were in nature and we were nature. And everything was beautiful. Sisters would have babies. They would breastfeed. I don't care how long their breast fell, close to their knees. We didn't look at that as a bad thing, although that wasn't the case. Because we were eating naturally. A sister knew how to feed babies and bounce back immediately. Because we had herbs. Okay? So I'm not saying all that to be funny. I'm keeping it real, man. This is real talk. And we have all these pharmaceuticals that, and I'm always asking our people, right? Before all these things came into our land, before all these pharmaceuticals came to our land, what did we use for remedy? What they call medicine. We didn't call it medicine. We didn't call it anything. All we knew was if you had a toothache, grandmama would go to the yard and pick something, and then a few hours later, we forgot we had a toothache. I'm asking you a question. Why can't we go back to that? Why do we have to be so dependent on these people? Why do we need their health care when we have nature's care? You want healthcare? You want healthcare? Go back to nature. Okay? Go back to nature. I told y'all before, if y'all don't want the real, don't come to this platform or don't come to my YouTube platform if y'all don't want the real. Because a lot of people talk, oh, well, keep it real, son. We want the real. When y'all hear the real, guess what? It bothers your spirit. It bothers your spirit. Huh? Come on, man. And here's something I'm going to tell some of y'all. Because for me, I'm about keeping it 100. A lot of y'all running around here with diseases, okay? Whether it may be a mental disease, a physical disease, or a sexual disease. A lot of you are running around here with that. Let me tell you something. Remedy yourself, okay? It's time for the healing of the nation. Go back to herbs. Get the herbs. Do the research. Trust me, nature has a remedy for everything. So if you're running around here for disease, don't be going around spreading it. Okay? Let's be real, man. It's time for the healing of the people. Stop it. Stop going around, sleeping around, unprotected when you know you got something. Stop going around sleeping with people when you know your energy ain't right. Well, it's up to them to protect themselves. Okay? Stop sleeping with demons. And then you end up having demon babies. Come on, man. What y'all don't realize, there is ages. Okay? There is ages. We had the age of Aries. When you had the whole concept, every age is between 23.5 to almost 26,000 years. That's equivalent to an age. So we had the age of Aries, all right, where the whole concept was that deity concept, that one God, a savior. The world was looking for a savior, all right? So you had many saviors. You had many messiahs. And the so-called last one, of the last Aries age was Jesus, Yeshua. Okay, whether it's not real. It's an allegory. It's an energy. Okay, it's an energy that comes from within. The Christ. Okay, Yeshua, Jesus, whatever. It's all allegory. It wasn't real. But however, it's an energy. It's an age. Okay, and we had close to 23 to 26,000 years of that, where the world was looking for a savior. Now we left that age. Okay, we left that age where governments was booming, popular, because everybody was looking for a savior. You see, y'all have to realize the spiritual ramifications or the spiritual significance of everything that's going on. So now we're in the age of Aquarius. What does that mean? It means that everybody have to be his or her own savior. You have to ascend into the Christ. You have to be Yeshua. You have to be the Christ. No, Jesus is coming to save you. Jesus is gone. Jesus is dead. Who rose from the dead? It wasn't Jesus. It was the Christ. But it's not a real man or a woman. It's an energy. Okay? It's a state of mind. Why do you think the government is in array all across the world? Governments, people are fighting against governments. It's not because the government is bad or good. No, it is the energy of the people. It's the Aquarian age when everybody's going to wake up and question everything. It's a new age. Question everything. Now you're seeking and searching for self, trying to save self. That's the age that we are in right now. And once we go through that age for 23,000, between 23.5 thousand to 26,000 years, then comes what? The age of Capricorn. Do you know what the age of Capricorn is? The age of Capricorn is all the survivors. All the survivors from the Aquarian age will create the new heaven on earth. Chief, don't hurt them, Chief. They ain't ready for this. They're not ready. But for those of you who are ready, man, can the church say amen ra? So everything that's happening right now is all designed, okay? Not just by man. It's written in the constellations. It's inevitable. There is going to be a purge. And the purge is not because of the government, no. Because it's written. So all you demons and all you bad-minded people, evil hearts, okay? Guess what? You are going to be perished. You are going to be perished. And it has nothing to do with the complexion of your skin. Once again, it's all about your intent, your energy, the being. So we are going to go through this 20-something thousand years of the Aquarian age. So everybody have enough time to get up and wake up and be enlightened. So don't be mad at your family. It's just not their time. Okay? It's not their time. So check this out. When they say that Jesus existed 2,000 years ago, it was the Aryan age they were talking about. All right? So 2,000 years ago, the Aquarius age started when Jesus died and ascended into the Christ. But they're making you think it was 2012. No, it wasn't 2012. Unless we are not dealing with the Gregorian calendar. And that's a whole nother story. But the point I'm trying to make is when Jesus died, that was the end of the Aries age. When you were looking for that one savior. And he had to ascend. In other words, make the transition from the Aries age when Jesus died into the Christ consciousness, which is the Aquarian age. Save self, become the God, become the Lord, become the higher I am. It's you. Okay? It's you. And what did God say? And I'm using that word God very lightly. Heaven is a place on earth. Okay? Heaven is within. And everything that's out of us is within us. It's just a projection of us. It's what's inside of us that's projecting what's outside of us. So once we have gone through this Aquarian age, and who's to be enlightened, okay, who have to make it to the Capricorn age, then that's when we're going to create the heaven on earth. Okay, that's when we're going to create the heaven on earth. Once again, so don't be mad at your brother, your sister, your cousin, your mom, your dad. Oh, well, chief, they're not getting it. I'm frustrated. No. They have a few thousand more years to go. Well, chief, we only live 400 years. Oh, no. You're going to reincarnate. Trust me. You cannot escape your karma. You think you're going to escape your karma? No. You're going to come back around. You're going to come back around. You feel me? It's like repeating the 4th grade. If you haven't passed your test, you will redo the test. That is just the natural cycle of life. And many of us have reincarnated thousands, if not millions of times because we cannot get it. But believe me, oh, this time I'm not, if I do come back around this time, I'm coming back as an ascended God. I'm coming back as a Christ to be the leaders of men. Okay, to be the fishers of men. All right? What do you think it meant when they said that Jesus was raising people from the dead? And once again, I am speaking from an allegorical perspective. If you don't know what allegory means, go look it up. Because I don't want nobody to take this one little clip. Oh, chief talking about Jesus. No. The allegorical. So let's stop focusing on the messenger and focus on the message. Okay? The messenger is irrelevant. The message is the key. When do you think they said that Jesus raised people from the dead? Do you think he literally raised the flesh from the dead? No. It was the spiritual dead he was raising from the dead. In other words, they were spiritually dead and he raised them by teaching them. And many of you are the dead. What do you think I'm doing? I'm raising you from the dead, from bringing you from the carnalistic man, from the animalistic man, stepping into your Christ consciousness, showing you that you are the higher self, the higher I am. But you ain't got to call me Jesus. You ain't got to call me the Messiah. Just call me Chief Kalanago. That's fine. I'm good with that. But I'm just playing my part. So that's what it means to raise you from the dead. That's all it means. To make you more spiritually inclined as to who you are, the higher man and the higher woman. So when I say, yeah, gods, know what I mean. And once again, I'm using that word God very lightly because the etymology of the word God means to evoke, to pour libation. So be careful of what spirit or what energy that you are evoking. You dig? All right? So with that being said, I just wanted to come drop a little something for y'all. And I'm going to conclude by saying this. I personally think, it's just my opinion, all right? I'm not asking anybody to agree with me. But I think as a people, if we're looking for a common ground, I think our common ground should be American Aborigines. I think we all should come together and decide that's who we are. We the people have the power. Nobody, no government, no institution can tell us what to identify ourselves as. Okay? It already has standing in law. It's already acknowledged internationally. I'm saying that we should identify ourselves as American Aborigines. And anybody who can't rock with that, that means they are not for the people. They are not with the people. Because that means they want to put you in a box. Okay? They want to put you in a box. Period. Point blank. All right? So that's just my message for this sunrise. I may do a live later because I'm stepping to another location. It's an American Indian museum or something. But anyway, when I get there, I will make an attempt to do a live to show y'all, some of the artifacts or some of the history that's being displayed there. All right. But this is what that was in my spirit. I just wanted to talk about it. And once again, we don't have to validate ourselves to anybody. We ain't got to prove who we are to anybody. They already know who we are. All you have to do is just step up and say, I am that I am. That's it. Period, point blank. We don't need to do, I keep telling people, we don't have to do all this paperwork. The reason why all this paperwork is necessary because we are divided. But if we come as a group, then we work as a group. We work as a community. We work as a people. All right? Let's come together. That's what I'm talking about. So moving forward, all right? To me, like I said, everybody got their own individual families, and that's fine. Call yourself what you want. But when it comes as a collective, I say, let's identify ourselves as the American Aborigines. That's who we are. Let us claim it. Let us own it. Let us live it. All right? So until then, enjoy the rest of your continuation. And we will talk soon. All right? Peace, love, harmony, and light. Big up to all the American Aborigines. One love.